All right. I remember when we were traveling in the haze, and all of a sudden this pain hit me. I collapsed, and this excruciating pain, it burned into my face. That's when the feelings started again. The flashbacks, the memories, the prickles down the back of my neck. I remember hearing screams, and there was some sort of, I don't know, it was like a city. And I remember I was there guiding people out, and then a streak of light, and suddenly the city continues screaming, but I'm somewhere else. I'm someone else. This time I'm gathering my things. I'm telling children to follow me. And then the bright light appears again. And I come back to myself on the ground, excruciating pain in my face. That's when my vision feels different. Not necessarily odd, but different. I quickly realize, thanks to the disturbed look of my other party members, that I've got one eyeball now instead of two. Doesn't feel all that different, to be honest. It just feels off, if that makes any sense. Once I come back to my senses, the group slowly progresses through the city. That's when Warren notices some sort of scary guy with a sword. So we wait it out. As he walks away, we turn around to see that Stripes had also met some sort of mutation, and he's now glowing. I'm sure that's not at all gonna make things difficult when we're trying to be discreet. Not at all. Anyways, we spotted our area of interest and made our way inside. That's when we noticed there was a trap near the entrance. Jorzen managed to vault across it just fine. But on the other side, there were rat people who whisked him away, chanting something. I couldn't quite make it out at the time. I went to follow suit, as did Stripes, but we fell into a pit trap. At the bottom of the trap, there were more rat creatures. They interrogated us and asked if we wanted to see their rat prints. Realizing that that's likely where they took Jorzen, Stripes and I sort of just went along with it. When we finally come to our senses again, the entire party's there. We're being held up by these creatures. I don't really know what they are, but with some quick thinking, I wild-shaped into a rat. I managed to convince them, fairly successfully I would like to think, that I was part of them. A shifter. A member of some sort of secret order, I guess. A lot of good that did me. The rest of the group ended up getting sent to the cells, but I got to stay with the rat people. I was hoping that at the very least, if they confiscated their weapons, it would be a chance for me to deliver them back, but it appears they did not. At a certain point, I remember hearing clashing and fighting after a long conversation about breeding and the pros and cons. Good gods. Hopefully I can forget that memory. Anyways, yes, I heard fighting. I knew pretty immediately that it was the group, and so I ventured over. I remember it being over pretty quickly, actually, although everybody looked worse for wear. And that's when I discovered that if I look hard enough, I can shoot a beam out of my eyeball. Well, I suppose there's a pro to that. We get separated, though, as Stripes and Shell go one way, Warren and I go another. That's when we come across a member of the Hooded Lanterns named Petra. Petra Lang, I believe it was. Anyways, Warren and I end up sort of helping her and trying to escape, but we couldn't find the others. In the distance, I do think I recall hearing more fighting, but it was very vague and I couldn't tell from which direction. I wanted to help, but I also know that our best bet was to get out and save this person. But now as we're exiting the cave, I have my doubts. Is the group going to be okay? I can't manage to think like that. We managed to save Petra, and Waren's out just fine, and the rest are capable fighters. I'm sure, in time, they'll be out fine too. I hope. And that is recap.
The recap.
Thank you very much. As our next recapper, it will be Waren.
Reds. We are the Reds.
Nice. Alright. Well, I'll continue onwards with the people who are escaping, obviously, the Werden. As you escape, you begin to be with the lieutenant. As they look back, is this all that you brought with you? She breathes heavily as she looks at you.
No, there were, 4 others, I think?
4.
Well, we'll have to reconvene here. I know
Yes.
of a place where we can head for refuge.
Okay.
Until we can regroup enough people to go down there and rescue your friends if they're still alive.
Of
Come,
course.
we have to leave now, before they chase.
Let's follow Haragon.
I agree.
We'll head towards the Shepherd's Gate. It's only an hour away. So that's what they're actually here. What were you doing down there, anyways? As she begins to, you notice she doesn't have her weaponry on her or anything like that. She just has her life. She looks back at you, and realizing you have a giant cyclops eye, and she kind of looks away from you, looks at Waren mostly, as she thinks you're disgusting.
We were following a friend who said that he needed to go in to this cave for something.
That's suicide. Your friend is mad. Why would they want to go down there?
In all honesty, I actually don't really remember.
It sounded like they wanted you to get killed.
I remember something, Haragon. Do you remember? And on the carriage, on our way there, on our way to Imblewood, they spoke of treasure, power. They were seeking something. As he kind of looks over.
A treasure hunt.
A treasure
Maybe.
hunt? Then you might as well call yourself dead, you know. Those creatures only know 3 things, and I'm sure you know the 3 things that they require for sustenance these days. They're born from this blight. They were once creatures of rodents that lived in the sewers, now advanced beyond belief, corrupted and twisted and changed. I've even been told some of them used to be human once upon a time ago.
Yeah. I got the vibe that they were not, how should you say, civil creatures anymore.
The ratlings are a terrible plague upon these lands. Many plagues resides beyond the dead creatures that roam. She quickly grabs you both and hides you behind a wall as you see a walking hulker moving around. There's creatures even like those. Mindless zombies. Creatures that don't ever sleep. Always wait for the hunger. But I'm sure you've witnessed many of those alike.
As he kind of whispers, "That's the thing I saw earlier today."
Oh my god. Okay.
We have to make it to the wall. It'll be safe there. Is this like Attack a Titan vibe, basically? We need to survive.
Okay.
She begins to move through the house and gradually kind of move through it, avoiding the likeness of the creature. You can see little baubles and antiques left behind from people who ran from the city or didn't survive it in the outskirts. So you begin to make your way through Shepherd's Way. Eventually, close clear, moving through as she reaches out a hand for Warren to kind of get a lift out from one of the windows.
Thanks. As I reach my hand out behind to grab Aragon. Come on.
Aragon will sort of hop up.
What is
as well.
wrong with your friend, by chance? I've never seen a creature with one solid eye. Is that an ill-born birth defect?
It was a consequence of the haze.
You're infected. Keep that to a down low. My people will not accept you. I would suggest lying to it for the time being. They will not ever accept you. If I came there with one single eye, they would probably shoot me dead. I might as well die with the rattlings. No offense.
Right. None taken.
Let's get this fixed. If you...
So where did you
You
guys
wanna
come
fix-
from originally? You're not with the faction, are you?
No. Well, I think Jor's and Stripes might have been
She
connected
incites
with
you
a
both.
mining.
She's like making sure that you're not with a faction. She's taking you to a stronghold that, if another faction knows of this stronghold, could easily take advantage of it.
No,
Uh,
I'm
Oh.
not really aligned with one. Though I have had encounters with followers of the Falling Fire and, I believe, was it Knights of the Silver Order? But
Silver Order is a bunch of insane, oath-seeking individuals.
I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
A little insane in their minds, but they are the closest thing to humanity has left of sanity, besides insanity. As the cult, I'd say, are long forgotten believers of a fallen. True, they believe in the sacred flame, but their ideals are muttered over a messiah that believes the sacred flame is beyond this world into the next, and if you wish to be saved, you would have to follow this messiah. They have corrupted the whole ideals of the sacred flame and what its purpose was. As you guys know the messiah, you've heard of her name before. As she begins to move, well, you'll have safety in numbers. The hood lanterns. We don't. We are the last military force left of Drakkenheim. Before and after. There's not many of us left. Led by Lord Commander Elias Draxel. As they had driven out the monsters and outlaws who infested our nation's capital of Westermar, and hopefully reclaim what is ours. I guess you could say we're the last hope of civilization.
Right. Well, I'm very grateful then that you're taking us into this safety, even if only for a bit.
We won't betray your trust. We appreciate you taking us here.
But I'm
Yes.
hoping eventually maybe you'll look minded upon us in a different light. As maybe one day you'll see eye to us. We may be a military operation group, but we plan to retake Drakkenheim. And we will do it, even after 15 years of miserable failure, dealing with contaminants that have swallowed thousands of our lives. Assaulted merely twisting these monsters, undead monstrosities, form and risen corpses, our past regiments. It's been a battle for sure. But Drakkenheim was left abandoned. And we are a civil war group still, trying to rip through Westermar and eventually, hopefully, end the Vying and hopefully reclaim the royal line for the House von Kessel. But we have no idea if there is a true bloodline left. You guys begin to move a little bit. She kind of begins to splurt out a little bit about the background. Hopefully maybe to catch your attention, maybe to join the Hooded Lanterns. As Westermar slowly disintegrates into the realm of squabbling, yet some fractured nobility that holds a glimmer of hope. Restoring its nation, rebuild the capital, will take time. I remember 3 years ago, they marshaled up the remnants of the Royal Guards to the city's watch. The patriot veterans of the Civil War to make one last-ditch attempt to retake the city. Of course, officially, the 4th Provisional Expeditionary Force had reclaimed the capital. On a guerrilla regiment was nicknamed the Oil Lamps, carried by the Old City Watch, aka us, the Hooded Lanterns. As us core members of warriors fighting our homeland, a few of us soldiers survived the Civil War. Many of the veterans had given their life of bloody deeds behind already. Of course, on the other hand, new recruits, cellularly old enough to have a strong memories of Drakkenheim before it was destroyed. Such of us possess a naive, idealist notion to hone into the shimmering rages and fury upon the golden ages that was stolen from us. We take the leadership of Lord Commander Elysia Drexel. He is our light upon this great war, the leader of our faction, as I suppose, rather than, well, I'd say after spending many years carefully scouting around the ruins, I guess we are potentially fortifying the city and hopefully having some staging grounds for future operations. Now hopefully our strategies will pay off, and the Hooded Lantern will be more established as a safe house for countless safe houses to supply enough cash within the city and to repel the dead and other factions that see fit.
I commend you for your bravery, but it does seem like you were betrayed.
Betrayed?
Yes. When we first met, you said your men were supposed to convene with you there, but the rats got to them first, or presumably the rats got to them first, but I don't know, everything seems so organized. Just seems a little bit off that your team, well, as he kind of trails off and he doesn't want to bring up old wounds around here.
She looks at you and she's like, I don't think my team would betray me. But if they did, then they deserve their fate. So I'm unsure if they did betray and they joined the Queen of Thieves or any other faction. That's hard to say. Or maybe they were dumb enough to get themselves caught and killed by the ratlings or creatures outside. It's hard to tell if what is true and what is not true is yet to be found. As maybe this lieutenant had more information and was trying to potentially get killed out there, likely, but lucky enough by you adventure saving them before their demise. It's unknown to be sure if the guards were plotting against the lieutenant and maybe having some rather valuable information. As you can tell, she is quite happy the fact that you saved her that day, as she was afraid whatever dastardly things would have been done to her are likely eaten or bred, or even worse, turned into an abomination. As we'll end it here, continue onwards as you guys begin to make your way towards the Hood Lantern, arriving eventually towards the location. I will put the token here upon the gates as we will roleplay that another point. As we head back down to the Ratlings area, upon Arthur's demise, all succession, as he has no idea where his friends have left him, as is unaware what he will do going forward. As we will get to a map here soon enough.
Arthur's the one that saves Joseph.
Maybe.
Unintentionally.
But the problem is if Arthur leaves on his own accord, he's by himself. He doesn't know where he's going. As Arthur, you are currently in the visage of sights of them picking through the things and belongings of your friends, taking all their equipment and armor, slowly stripping them.
The rats wouldn't notice, right?
No, they're too busy.
Okay. Yeah, I would lug that along then. Sneak, sneak, sneak. We'll try this path.
As you die, I'm joking.
I mean,
I have to get the map out here. Give me a second. I forgot which one. Alright. Alright. As you begin to look through, you see what looks like an idol of the rat god. This chamber contains a bloated effigy of a horrifying, obese, draconic rat made from the rubble of mud and rat feces. Set in 2 pieces of delirium for eyes, offering are scattered about the statue's feet. A skull, bone, dagger, and bits of rotting meat. And the small delirium fragments. Before it lies in a blood-soaked altar made from simple stone slabs. You can see there are 6 ratlings here attending the shrine. As you can see, there's treasure of plenty of gold pieces surrounding that bloated effigy covered in blood.
By chance, I know I don't see him on the map, but is this where Jorzen was
No.
taken? Okay.
No, this is where they worship their deity, their god.
Yeah, we're gonna try and keep sneaking around that. I take it they're all focused on the. Oh man, Arthur. We'll
You
go
can
up this way.
Yeah, I would suggest going around. I'm gonna accidentally just walk in front of them and kick a candle down. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. Yeah, it was.
So you see more
Thinking that.
nests. I don't mind if I do.
I mean, I
want
might as
money.
well. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get myself killed later on in the campaign.
Investigation.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okie dokie. Let's see. You find 9 silver pieces.
Okay.
Let's go.
Take it. I'll take it.
The thing is, I feel bad for Arthur is like because he joined in the group and he wasn't really friends with anybody, and the fact that when he leaves his place, if he does, he has no idea where the fuck he's going.
Right.
He doesn't
He'll
have a
probably
map.
just-
He has no idea about the city. Like he is completely gonna be clueless about like where do I fucking go? How do I avoid combats? Like do
I'm
I
gonna
even
go
survive
meet
this?
my boat buddy.
No, but the map
Oh,
is
no.
in this area.
Yeah, but you have the map.
Yep.
Oh, and I looted them though, so I took all their stuff.
Who?
You can loot us.
You can't lose Stripe and Shell.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They were looting them. They're taking their stuff.
I see. That's why they're distracted.
Did you find yourself
Yeah.
all the way around again?
Okay.
Did you want to keep going down the other way?
If I recognize this as the exit, Arthur is gonna probably try and get the fuck out of here.
Okay, he just gives up. He's like, fuck this. I already
Yeah.
got enough loot. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you walk around and kind of move up around the vicinity and begin to drag your body up the rail. Kind of panicking, your heart beating. You're like, I need to get out of here.
I feel like
This
this
place
is the
smells
movie
like shit.
Descent. Yeah, I'm like
There's like a
climbing up
fucking predator like on the ceiling waiting for you.
I think I finally made it.
I'll have to make like a bunch of flags for you guys now. There's like so many groups. Alright, it's a banner
And I'm still invisible.
for a bit.
I'm just running. No. He would probably actually, when he gets out, he would assess the situation. He would first see if anyone else made it out. Because he only saw Stripe and Shell down there.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't see a body in the pits. He didn't see Jorzen, but he kind of knew he was taken away.
Alright, let's put this as Arthur. This is you, the blue one.
Okay, okay.
Alright, so you get out. You realize you're left alone.
Do I have like a general sense of direction, like north, east, southwest?
Not in here, in the haze. You're in a haze area.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
You can get a survival check if you're really good at that. Maybe you can track the people who left here.
Ooh. Oh.
You have no
Yeah.
idea their foot trackings as you panic. Like, where the fuck did he go? I should have followed them when they left.
So I think I would definitely make sure I'm at least what I would think a safe distance from the rat
You
hole.
can roll it if you want. So if you have roll a d4, this will be 1, this will be 2, this is b3, this is b4. So you're gonna go all the way this way. You're going west. Oh, I never eat. No, it's east. East. My culture. The wall.
And okay, that's the wall. Yeah, I think Arthur would make it. He's like running, and then would drop the invisibility as soon as he gets to the wall. And it's just kind of
You
like,
would not get to the wall in an hour.
okay. Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he would lose the invisibility along the way.
All right, so you
He's
begin to
sprinting.
move through kind of some alleyways. You do see some undead. Obviously, you avoid that, the plague. Eventually, after a good half an hour, I'm not too sure how long your thing lasts.
Total, it was an hour, so however long in
You were
the
in
cave,
there, I would say it would be still up. I'd say you'd probably be really close to it, but not there yet. Eventually, kind of getting to a point where you're like kind of in a shack, waiting it out, realizing there's just a lot of like undead around the vicinity. As you realize, you can see the wall from the distance, but you're a little almost there. You can roll me a stealth check to make the rest of the way there. As you do realize, depending if you don't want to, you don't have to, you do hear noises of groaning and moving of things moving around. As you quickly avoid the encounter, as you see 3 of these kind of drenched creatures, kind of like the small, low-ranked zombies, moving around the vicinity. As you quickly dodge it, you head to the wall, as the wall is now flat, solid. It sticks out 40 feet high, as it's not really climbable without the means of climbing kits or magic, or if you have some grappling hook, which I don't think you do.
No.
Do you want to follow the wall?
Yeah. I think I'll kind of do the same and just roll like 1 or 3 would be north.
Well,
2 or
ideally, you knew where you came from, where the sprawl is, so it's up to your character if it wants to go into the opposite direction, or wants to go the way where it came from, and hopefully find the river and head back home. It's up to you.
Right. Yeah, because I can't meta this. Like, I don't know you guys are so close. I think his first instinct...
You can kind of meta it because you knew where you were going originally. Like, when you left, when you left the sprawl, you knew where you came from originally. It just depends if your character wants to move back to Emberwood. Like, do they miss home? Or do they want to take the chance and venture somewhere else? It's just character at this point.
And he is... True. He's trying to find like this relic. I know that's part of or something dealing with relics. Yeah, I think he'll explore a little bit because he was sneaking around, and that's how like Stripe and all them met him.
The biggest question is, even if when you encounter the Hooded Lantern, it depends if they let you in or not.
True.
You could be literally shunned away.
True. Yeah, he'll just kind of then
because
head
if you realistically think about it, Paragon and Warren, they didn't know where the fuck you went. They could have easily been like, you fucking betrayed us, bitch. The fuck out of here.
I mean, Warren is not my biggest fan. But, I mean, Arthur does find him ugly.
Alright, you follow the wall as best you can, avoiding any stragglers of danger. It is a very scary, long hour walk as we'll end you there. We'll continue onwards with the people inside Le Den. As you're being dragged, Stripes, you eventually hit the altar. Your brother eventually sees your corpse. Not dead, but your corpse. As the Rat King begins to assume his spot once again. With his things. As they see Shell, they don't actually bring you Shell. As they begin to eat your body.
He's being
Oh
eaten!
my god.
I'm jelly, so yeah, jelly
But he
flavored shell.
refused it, he didn't want to.
That's right.
So they're eating
I forgot you were jelly.
My god, it would have been a crazy status. Like, he would have been jelly.
You see your brother naked and stripped of all his belongings, as they toss him to the side here. String him up. Yes, he shall be a new one like this one, a specimen, this great creature before us. As Joyzen, you begin to feel your body ripple in pain as you realize the course of your veins begin to turn purple and green. As you realize you're infected with whatever they gave you as you wake up from this horrible sight. You're still restrained and tied, as the seer looks towards Stripes. He shall be next. In the meantime, we allow you to rest, great creature. We shall call you Aru. As that's a nickname you'll get down here. Aru is your nickname, if you choose to stay with the Ratlings down the road. As the seer will leave you, as the other ones will leave as well, heading back to their hovels for the time being, and preparing Stripes' next transformation. As you see your brother in a horrible sight, what do you do, Jorzen, as you're strapped to this thing? You're restrained, You're weakened. You feel in and out of the situation. You're parched as you see your buddy kind of wrapped and tied onto the altar itself as well, like you have, face down. As all you can see, like the corner of your eye, you see him battered and beaten up, bruised, bloodied, as he's has none of his belongings with him.
Is there a way I could try to like get out of the restraint, either through like the?
You can try, but you're really weak right now. So you can roll athletics with a -5 to that check.
Mm-hmm.
As you try really hard with getting a 9, your bonds don't break as you try to struggle and wiggle. It almost like feels like the bonds are ripping to your flesh. Is it like you feel like almost like the ropes that they use were not really ropes. They're whatever they could find, as you can feel blood just seeping down your wrists.
Mm. Mm.
Anything else you want to do?
Is there a way I could try to burn them off?
You can't use your hands. Your hands are they're not together where you can use somatics. They're separate. So to do somatics, you need both hands.
Dang. Well, if I can't break out, it's nothing else I can do at the moment.
You can talk to your brother while he's down.
Mm.
You know, like you can roleplay it.
Oh, I thought he would be unconscious.
He's unconscious, but this is a moment for you to see your brother in his weakest state. You know your brother is really strong. He's never given up on you. But you now see him in a different view of you're the strong one and he's the weak one.
All right, Amy. Hmm.
You don't even know if he's alive or dead. You can barely see him breathing.
I guess could I invest like? Well, no, you said I can't really see him.
You can see him with one eye. You're like kind of on a bed, almost like down. Like your head can move slightly, but you're bound. As you can feel like the stinging pain where they bit you, it festers, it hurts. As you feel like your body turning warmer or hotter as you can't control the temperature of your body. You feel like something's happening to you, but you have no idea. As it looks like they're waiting for your transformation. It hasn't happened yet. But you feel like sick. You feel like you have a temperature of like 100 and something degrees. You begin to sweat. Everything gets dizzy and daisy around you as you look at your brother and you're more in a view of like panic, almost like life and death situation.
Fine. Nothing I can. This wouldn't be like a situation where I could like maybe like dislocate a thumb or something intentionally to try to slip out.
You want to try again?
Yeah.
All right, you get a -5 again. You can roll an acrobatics if you like.
Come on. 18.
You begin to slip one of your hands out. As you do that, a nice chunk of flesh rips off of you. It hurts as you feel like it bleeds across the ground as your left hand is free. But you begin to feel sweat and your eyes are like kind of unable to control its. You can see basically spots everywhere.
Okay. I would like to try to push through it and try to get my other hand out.
All right.
Like try to undo the bindings?
You won't be able to undo them with this
Oh.
state, but you can try to rip out. And every time you do, you take damage. So you can reduce 1 point of HP of your character as you're forcing yourself through these bindings.
Alright. I'd like to force my right arm out.
Okay.
With that'd be athletics.
You can do whatever you want. It's still -5.
Okay.
As you
Oof.
struggle, it doesn't rip out. As every time you rip, you begin to like almost like you want to scream, but you try to hold it in as you feel more pain. You're using more energy than before. As your character feels sick. Roll me a con save with disadvantage.
Come on, win this fight.
As you manage to hold in from puking, as you feel your stomach stirring, as whatever is happening to you is not good. As you begin to look at your brother, you probably don't want him to deal with the same fate. Realizing this place is, wherever this place is, was likely a trap for your mission. As you try to struggle again and trying to do it again, you can attempt it again, Joris, and try to pull out. As you can take another point of damage because of that failed acrobatic checks. As it starts cutting into your flesh again. The more the more you struggle, the worse it'll get. Eventually, your character might fall unconscious because of the blood loss.
I would like to and give a little, like, kind of give it like a little laugh. That's like a painful one, and try again after saying, after looking over to him and telling him I'm gonna get us out of this.
You try and you struggle even more and more. As you shouldn't be. It's not disadvantage. It's just -5.
Yeah.
You rip out of the bind. He's taking another point of damage. Your hands are free, as your legs are still buckled to the table itself. As you try to get up, you begin to see spots, and like your eyes are going in and out, almost like everything around you is pushed in and pushed out. As your body can barely, your like equilibrium is off balance, as you barely can even like stand up properly.
So I still have to break my legs free, or am I free?
Your legs are still bound, but you can grab to your brother if you like, but he's bound.
So can I reach his binding?
You can reach one of his bindings.
Hey, let me just try to get out. I'm going to try to rip one of my legs out again.
All right. As you do that, the DC is a DC 10 now, -10 to your rolls. Athletics or acrobatics. As the more you begin to use your energy, the more energy you lose. So the DCs are getting higher.
Gotta do it. High rolls. Oh, never mind.
You try to move it. You don't take any damage, but you lose more momentum and more strength. You begin to breathe heavily and harder as before. As you realize quickly enough. Go ahead.
I do. Never mind. It's for after this.
You
Now
realize quickly enough that like this might be over for you, but you obviously look at your brother as you want him out of here. Do you continue or do you give up?
Now I try to cast. Can I try to cast firebolt on the ropes?
All right. You try to keep your hands momentumly together as you begin to shake. Roll me let's say a straight intelligence checks. Nothing related to. It is nothing reduced. Is this you trying to focus?
Intelligence.
See if your mind is there. It's intelligence. Just a regular
ability check?
Yeah, it's just an ability check. Just intelligence. You just click on intelligence. 5.
Shit.
Your body can't like correlate your focus. You're looking at your hand, but you see like 6 of them. You're like, holy shit! As you're trying to move your hands together, as they kind of waft past each other, as you're struggling to even make signals and signs. As you're like trying so hard but your mind is racing. You feel your heartbeat pumping outside of your chest now.
Hmm.
As you begin to hyperventilate, you begin to breathe heavily, as you can't
Can
control your breathing.
can I try to make a Constitution saving throw to try to focus, like try to like calm myself down?
Yeah, you can if you want, or you can do a wisdom.
I'm gonna do wisdom.
12. You try to calm yourself down a little bit. It does take more time. It doesn't. You don't fully calm down completely, but you eventually kind of almost send yourself out a little bit from your training, as you begin to inhale and exhale a little bit slower. As you do that, your ears kind of perk up as you somehow have a really keen hearing all of a sudden. You can almost hear across the walls. You hear voices. You hear sounds. You hear nibbling. You even hear kind of like skirting around the walls itself as you realize quickly you've never heard that before until now, as you begin to have an kind of enhanced hearing. As
All
you
right.
begin to correlate your hands back together, as you are almost in a sense of zen for a moment, as you begin to conjure a flame in your hand, as you begin to unleash it across your bindings, burning them off, as you begin to fall face forward onto the ground, unable to hold your arms together to hold the embrace, as you slap right into feces, mud, and dirt, covering your entire face. As you're free of the bindings, but your body can barely lift itself up.
Uh, could I try to cast false life on myself to try to help in this situation?
You cannot do that. Your character can barely even talk or even focus. You're in a state of mind of exhaustion.
Hmm.
As you feel the stinging pain across your body, as you feel like electricity kind of surging across your back, you feel your body is giving out. You only have mere minutes before your body will knock out. As you can
All right.
feel your hands begin to clutch, as you feel like hot and fiery. It just keeps coming and coming, as whatever this ailment they gave you is happening and you can't control it.
I would like to try to make a wisdom saving throw to at least try to will myself to stand up and, or at least
Yeah, you can.
crawl my way
I'm not
up.
against that. I'm just saying your character has limitations right now because
Yeah,
of his infection, because of the surrounding areas. They gave you a disease, and the disease is slowly attacking all your antibodies.
yeah. So I'm going to try to wisdom save my way up.
You fail as you try to push yourself up, wobbling aggressively as you flop back into the mud.
Uh, hmm. Would they have stripped me down as well?
You have nothing on you. Your character's naked.
Man, hoping maybe my staff would have been nearby.
No,
Yeah.
it'd be in the treasure troves now.
Fuck it, one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna try to wisdom my way up again because I know I have to
I
get
will
up.
say it's a -5 at this point because the more you will, the body's rejecting yourself. You can roll it if you like. As you try to will yourself up, you get to one leg as you feel your eyes just go black and you just fall into the ground and you drop unconscious.
Damn, terrible rolls.
As Stripes, after an hour, you eventually wake up. You get 1 HP. bound and left there for dead. As you begin to panic and realize quickly enough you're bound, all your belongings are gone, you're stripped naked, as you're on this rather altar itself, dripping moisture and warm and hot. You eventually notice with the corner of your eye as it begins to visualize around you, you see a mudded reddish corpse on the ground as you see your brother not moving. As he's naked, butt naked.
I'm face first towards the altar, though, right? Like my back is there?
You're laid on the ground. All you see is the ceiling, and the dripping
Oh, I'm on the ground?
pockets. Yeah, that's where the altar is. That's how your brother got out.
Okay.
But you have no idea he's out or alive or dead. But you see he's just on the ground in feces and mud.
And I'm bound, though.
You're bound from wrist to ankle.
Oh, like hogtied.
Yeah.
Ouch.
You're like, your arms are separated from each other. So they're like left and right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're bound like that in a way that, and the boundings, you can tell they're not ropes. It looks like a mixture of like barbed wire.
Oh.
As you're really
Yeah,
weak
hold on.
itself and realizing whatever they did to your brother, he looks fine, but you can tell just by looking, he attempted to escape, but he faltered.
But I'm bound to like a.
You're bound to what looks like it's made of branches and twigs and whatever, like it's almost like a nest of anything. But the altar there is like what the other area was from Arthur's perspective, of like this kind of rat kind of lord covered in blood and bones and candles. But there's no candles lit in this room anymore, as you can just are clearly seeing through your own dark vision. As you begin to hear things skirting around, as you only mere minutes before something enters into the room.
I'm gonna pretend I'm still sleeping, but just kind of keep my one eye just barely open.
You eventually see the seer arrive as it notices one of the creatures, as it screams at one of the rodents, "Get him up! How did he escape? Must be strong. Much in him." So another rat comes in. And another rat. As they start to drag his body. He will be whole soon. One soon will join us. Yes. As they see you, Stripes. This one will become the next, soon to be. As you see one of the rodents bringing, it looks like a water skin to your mouth. Trying to wake you up.
I keep my mouth shut.
As you can see, it grabs your jaw, lower jaw, and begins to try to pull it.
I bite his fingers.
No, they're not pulling it, like they're like grabbing your jaw, like forcing it open.
Okay, then I'm gonna kind of close my throat then.
Alright, as they open it up. He's still alive. Oh, good. He will feel the pain of rats, indeed. Get the knife. Yes. Yes. There's a dark damp beneath the ruins of Drakkenheim. The deep rattling warrens. The walls are sick and grime. The air thick and stench of decay and blood. Something foul. And the arcane itself. Rusted iron chains dangling from hooks. Some bearing rotten remains of past victims. Spluttering green glass lanterns, casting a flicking of shadows and skittering claws echoing through the tunnels. the center of most of the room prisoners, captured adventurers, unfortunate souls strapped to a stone slab, their limbs bound in oily sinew ropes. They are surrounded by chittering hordes of ratlings, twisted forms twitching in anticipation. At the end of the gathering, the high priest, Skriel, glistens his black fur streaks and soles, pulsing veins, his robe stained with blood, delirium tainted filth. His yellowed, needle-like teeth gleam and bears his wicked grin. Ah, fresh pink morsels, trapped in our nest, bound in our grasp. You can struggle and wither, your fate has brought you here. Yes, it has! So you adorn his gnarled staff with rats of skulls, tapping your forehead a little bit. You can suffer all you like. Do you hear them? You hear the whispers beneath the stone? The hunger of your marrow. Oh, you will soon enough. We are merciful. We'll grant you new life. The gnawing hunger does not discard. It transforms its blessed ones, of course. As it begins to pull a rusty knife. As you hear the grinning sounds, it grinding against its yellow teeth. As you see the thing, as your eyes are closed still, but you see a glimmer. If you want, you can roll a perception check with disadvantage. Depending if you want to open your eyes, then you can roll perception. As you notice the shard of the dagger is made of delirium, tainted metal. As you begin to watch them sizzle it on the fire nearby, so it cuts across your flesh and burns with unnatural heat.
I'll scream until I pass out from the 1 point of damage I take.
They don't make you... you can faint if you want, or you can endure. It won't do enough damage to take a point, but they are cutting across your neck as you feel the heat burning into you, as obviously likely going to scream at this point.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I scream until I pass out.
It begins, yes. The first taste of change. Your body must learn. It must break before it can be rebuilt, yes. Bones will crack. Flesh will be twisted. Oh, yes. As the rattling breathes, the high priest sinks his claws and begins the prisoners' twist, forcing them remain still. A green shimmering and delivering dust sprinkled into the wound. An unbearable heat floods your veins as they begin to conflict you with delirium.
In between my pain, I'm going to say, you're the first. And then I'll just keep screaming as well.
That is all. You will enjoy it. And you will crave it. Yes, do not resist. Let the hunger in. Feed it creeping into your marrows, into your blood. Gnaw and feast, tear and bite. Welcome into the endless night. As you hear the chanting in the background as they keep saying it. As your flesh begins to ripple, veins of darkening as your fingernails sharpen the claws, the jaws stretch painful, a terrible snap, as teeth elongate. You're getting a different transformation than your brother. You are getting something much more horrifying. As you're transforming as is now, your brother will be naturally transformed by the moonlight itself. As the terrible snaps of your teeth elongated to sharp fangs, Your ears lengthen in grey and fur spouting in pouches, as your bones crack and realign as you hear your bones shifting on your own aggression against your will. Beg! Beg! There's no escape! Only hunger and only change. As your eyes roll back, minds flooded with visions, skittering tunnels, gnawing teeth, the smell of filth and blood. A voice deep, insatiable, as a whisper in your skull. Hunger, feed, join us, breed. Ah. As the transformation nears its climax, hands tremble, fingers curled into hooked talons. The vision sharpens, intensify, instinct to scream, to kill, and bite and feed. The rattlings crackle and screech, their own kin gasp for air, shuddering, overwhelming the sensation for a new form. As no gods, not anymore. There is only hunger. As you can see Scree eventually stepping back, ripping your shackles away from you, as the mind is fractured and only hunger is powering for you. Rise, my child. Go forth and feast. As the rattlings, joy scurrying in the tunnels, as they tremble and step, as they change, as forever changed. As the rattlings let you go, your weakened state with 1 HP, as now you are officially a were creature, changed forever.
But not permanently a rat.
No, you're just
I kind of got double.
You're a were rat now. Your entire design's changed, so now you get all this stuff they gave. Okay, I'll send it towards you because I gave it to Smokey. But yeah. But you don't know. You have no idea how to control it yet, so I'm just giving you it for now. But ideally, you have a new subclass on your race. You don't lose your attributes; you gain new ones, but you gain detriment ones. So you can't wear armor anymore. Your armor, you'll never be able to wear armor in this form. If you wear armor, it burns you and starts to kill you. As you begin to look, all you can think is hunger and feeding, as you begin to get thirsty and hungry. You see Jors in there, as this is a will game now. Will you kill your brother, or will you sustain from your irritation? As all your saves, all your checks will be at disadvantage. As you look around the surroundings in this weird, horrible form, you see Jors unconscious. As you can roll me a wisdom save with disadvantage on the will of not feeding off your brother. No one said they would go the happy ever after. Your brother could kill you. As you resist the temptation for the time being, as you begin to look around,
I try to move out of the room, knowing that I'm kind of getting hungry. So that way he's out of my sight.
So you're Beaver role playing as a feral creature right now. You're no longer Stripes in this state. You just went through a transformation. You don't even you're just basically your instincts of an animal. You're hungry, you need to feed, and you have no measure of your conscious self at the moment.
So I can't tell if that's my brother or not then?
No, you just see him as food. Until you can control it. Right now, you're in the primal state of a creature.
Okay. Is there anything I could do to try to control it?
Not yet. Not for the time being. You're like a freshly newborn creature.
Okay. My instincts obviously said that I don't have to go after him, or I shouldn't. So is there anything else in the room?
Nothing alive at the time being. A lot of just dead corpses of things that have been rotten and sinewed as they've decayed over the last few weeks.
Okay. And I don't want to leave the room then?
You can leave it, but that's up to you.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the room. Because obviously I didn't think
As
he
you're
was
walking on
appetizing
all fours, you're in a primal state. You're just looking around. It's basically a giant fat rat right now.
I'll leave the room then.
Alright. Oh shit, I forgot to move you guys to the... That's my bad.
Okay, that's one turn's worth of action.
No, you can go on. We're not in turns. As you begin to smell food as you stop for a second, you see over here a haphazard display of rancid-smelling den. All manners of recently scavenged dead animals, body parts, and other unsavory stores. You can smell food.
I go right to it.
You rush and run through. As you begin to consume, you see living meat stays well preserved. Prisoners are tied up here as for fresh meat later, as you see a couple dead corpses of humans here. As you begin to look around and enjoy what as bare splendors your body can handle, you begin to consume flesh of dead corpses and eat and suffice your hunger.
Oh shit. Probably wind up eating whatever's left of the shell too.
Yeah, there's probably body. Not yet. Shell's body's not there. They're eating him in the other place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm VIP.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yawn.
I keep eating.
Alright.
I'm the premium quality of food.
Alright, you eat and eat and eat until you cannot eat anymore. As that takes time and effort. As we'll end our session here with you guys and continue onwards. In the meantime, Stripes, you fulfill your splendor and you stay in this form until your form, I guess until you revert back normally. Right now you are in a feral state, so you're acting like a primal animal. But to you, the ratlings are almost like your kin at this point. As you're sufficed, you don't see them as a threat. But whatever that body in the room is, you don't see that as a threat either, as your instincts of your humanity is keeping you from killing him. But the problem is, how long will that last until your will breaks? But that's over the course of the campaign. So what you got right now, Stripes, you got the full transformation. Your brother did not get the full transformation. He'll transform gradually on his own accord. So, in a sense, you got more of the violent treatment than he did.
Which is good, because I succeeded in my mission.
Yeah, if you fared that well, I think you would be eating Jorzen. And you'd be like, what did I do? I ate my own brother.
Yeah. I was kind of clenching there.
It could happen still. Alright, as we'll head back towards Drakkenheim, we'll take a quick 5-minute break as we'll reclude with the people from the Hooded Lanterns and see what you guys are up to.
Alright, time for a 5-minute nap.
Let's do it. Give me my nap, baby.
I have the perfect character. With how much I sleep.
I'm gonna go lay down in my bed. Someone let me know when Red said it's time to come back.
Don't worry, we'll scream.
I have my headphones in, so I should be able to hear you guys. Just don't scream too loud.
you back there or no?
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, okay.
Currently sleeping in the bed.
Yeah, you're always sleepy boy. Sleepy boy.
Just looking up art for Tuesday's possible next game.
Oh God.
I don't know what I'll play, honestly. We'll see.
Yeah,
I am doing the
just-
vote for the next PDF, so if you guys have any PDFs or third parties you want to add to that list, you're welcome to send it forward to me so I can review it. I got a couple of items that I am doing. I try to do it once a year to release a new PDF. This one might not be exclusive on Roll20, it might just be PDF that people will have to like copy and paste, sadly. Because a lot of the Roll20 exclusive ones are... I already own them, so I don't really want to re-buy them again. But one of them are going to be that Shipley Studio one, which I'm kind of interested in.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It's not made by them, but it's inspired by it. But that would be
It has like a lot of
that-
potions in it too.
Yeah, it's like RNG potions, 180 kind of craftable. It would only be for that campaign. The potions would not coexist into normal campaigns because it's designed for that campaign setting. Because that's crazy to put 3 herbs together and make a random potion be fun, but in normal traditional D&D sense, it would be busted as fuck.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It'll probably be that, or I know you want to play the Yawning Portal like crazy. You could be like, I want to play Yawning Portal. I want to play Yawning Portal.
I always keep making the because it's like it's the closest thing to Man Mage, so I'm just like, let me just keep reminding you of what happened.
It's just a bunch of short stories. It's like Monday's game. It's like a bunch of old campaign stories from old.
Or like
editions.
Saturn.
Literally, the guy in Yawning Portal, in the campaign setting, like literally the art book, literally always reminds me of Jeff's character.
Oh.
So where does it say that you die if you wear
What?
where does it say you'll die if you wear armor?
No, it's not that. I'm just saying you just can't wear armor. Like that's like the werewolf thing. I'm not saying you die. I'm just saying in the sense your character would not like it. If you want to have disadvantage on all attacks, you can totally do it. But your character naturally just doesn't wear armor while it uses it. The detriment of it using armor when you're a were creature.
Okay, yeah, because you were
Ideally,
saying that
werewolves
you
or
die if
any
you
were
wear-
creatures don't wear armor. You'll never see one wear armor. They'll wear clothing because their body is their armor. So if you have high dex, then you'll have pretty high armor. But if your character's a dump stat dex, then well, sorry to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to verify here.
No, I'm not. I was from a roleplay perspective, but yeah, no, it's nothing against that. But you'll never see a were creature wear armor because they're already OP as hell. Because they don't take slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning from non-magical attacks. They take nothing. You're like immune to it when you're in that form, except for silver weapons.
Yeah, it doesn't really say that on here either. So.
No, it doesn't because D&D sucks. You have to actually read the book. It doesn't. I actually had a third-party book where they have stat blocks for being a were creature, but no one voted for that one. They all wanted the ogre and the dragon and stuff.
So our lycanthrope proficiency is only a +1, right? Because this is only the first level of lycanthropy.
It's your levels character now. It's combined.
Oh, so it's +4. Okay.
Yeah, that's your
Or
actual.
+3, sorry.
No, there's no level of lycanthropy. That is you basically until you remove the curse. But you're right now, your character right now is in a state of feralness. You're not him. You're in like almost like a primal instinct. That's not going to be you forever. Right now, you just recently transformed. You don't even know how to talk anymore. You're just this weird animal until you go back to normal. Right now, your character's locked up in a cage. Your mind psyche, and whatever this is a new entity. So you're playing a new entity for the time being until you can snap back to reality. So that's what I'm trying to role play your character as. And for Jorza, when he transforms, he's going to be more inclined than feral. He's going to realize quickly enough that He's no longer himself. So when he transforms, he won't be a pharaoh like you because his transformation was much different than yours. Yours was blatantly happened right off the get-go. His was over a course of hours. So he's still going through the sickness and his body slowly kind of transforming him, but he'll be transformed in more of the lighter sense than your aggression sense. So you're right now, you are like just instinctively a monster character right now. You're like, you're a giant rat. And he's basically, ideally, you just don't know how to control it. It's almost like Spider-Man, where he got bitten, he just gets sick, and you just transform him into a horrible creature. You do stupid shit. You don't know what the hell's going on.
I was about to say you are actually Venom,
I am
and George is
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I'm like, oh, Spider-Man became
Spider-Man,
a
Venom,
creature.
I don't
Okay.
know, whatever. It's the same concept of the, you're quickly transformed
Symbiote.
into this creature.
Well, Red's kind of right. There is a Spider-Man that actually turns into an actual spider.
Right. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
he,
actual
like,
spider.
yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah, man, you got hot wired into this.
Into this. But don't take it as a detriment. It can be positive. It does have detriments to it, and it has positivities. But ideally, for the armor's sake, you wouldn't be using it. You would be, if you wear armor, you would be detrimental using it. You'll have disadvantage on everything.
But when I'm in hybrid form, right?
Correct, hybrid form. When you're in normal form, you can wear armor. But right now, you won't willingly able to transform whenever you feel like it. It's not like it doesn't work that way.
My AC is officially 12.
Yeah, but you're immune to every fucking damage type from any guard. Like it hits you, it just breaks on impact, which is pretty badass at low levels.
Storm the castle.
You can like have like any character try to attack you with a non-magic weapon. You're like, I don't give a shit. All right, sorry. Let me get Hergol and Warren. As we got a map here. Yeah, right.
Go to the town, cause havoc.
Wow.
I prefer, not to like make an enemy of an entire
That's her, by the way. You saved.
faction base.
Ancient.
Yeah, we can make him forgive him later.
Just, yeah, telling them, hey, maybe you're betrayed is a great way to keep from becoming and not making enemies.
Yeah.
We finally made it. Welcome to the refuge. As you find yourself at the Shepherd's Gate. So you see a couple guards, a broken down wall, whatever they could fortify, they make do. As you can see, the Shepherd's Gate holds a dozen about veterans. About 30 scouts are stationed here at all times during the day, forced of the commandment of the captain Jacob Solbach. It's the captain guard, rain highlash at night, as you can see. And the entire force rotates on a 12-hour shift. So many defenders may rest outside of the haze in guards' forces to change over at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They maintain a nearby shed where always 6 fresh war horses and brutal assignments to reserve the forces, often called to take the ship to Given to maintain the guards' extra time off. As you can tell by the siege defenses installed on all the defenses around the gatehouse, you can see hoardlings are built of the walls, battlements. They've dug ditches lining the wooden stakes below the walls, and finally a wooden barricade supporting the sandbags that has been erected to the road. Several ballistas are deployed on top of the tower, keeping sure this place will be defended even after the apocalypse.
Is there a place where we can rest, have food or water?
In due time, friend, in due time. She makes it towards the gates, and as they kind of salute her, Petrud Lang, I'm glad you survived. We thought you were lost like the rest of them. I was thankfully saved by these 2 compatriots. Don't mind the other one with the single eye. They were born like that. and the other one saved my life from the ratlings. They will be staying with us for the time being until they regain their footings across the land here. Let us enter in and at peace. Now, keep to your post. As she begins to move in towards the gate with you.
As he kind of whispers near Petra, and now you're such a hot shot.
I'm a lieutenant. Lieutenant, remember that. Not merely just a guard. I've worked my ranks and served my years. Maybe one day you will, too. If you choose to join us upon reclaiming Drakkenheim and its order. In the meantime, we'll get you situated. As you see many guards looking at you, as you can see a lot of them here are workforces here. As she doesn't show you the whole battlements, as you're not part of the group. She quickly makes her way onto the other side of the gate. So you see a couple of houses here left in disarray and some so much. When you gain the strength and well-being, you can come to talk to me in private. In the meantime, I must take my leave towards the commander of this fort, as I am not the commander. And as we will reconvene in a conversation. In the meantime, this will be your station of home. They give you this little small shack of a house.
I can't see anything red. It's a complete darkness for me.
Oh, give me a second.
Yeah, same here.
Humans.
Yeah, humans, man. You guys are
I'll have you know, I'm actually a rabbit person.
humans.
I think it's because you only got
One
one eye
eye.
now,
You
Harry.
love
Yeah.
dark vision.
Wait, you guys don't have any dark vision, right? Yeah, I forgot. Let me put some light. There's no light here. That's why. Can you see now or no?
Let me just restart.
Oh wait, no.
I
I got it wrong. I got it wrong. No. The reason why this is all like this is because I put you on the wrong. I put you on the light setting for some reason. I don't know why. That's weird. I thought I raised everybody's a token.
There we go.
Yeah. I put you
Is
on.
it home?
There we go, yeah.
I put you on the wrong layer. That is my own fault.
Whoa. Nice little setup here.
Got a nice little kit. Nice little well,
Which cabin did they say was ours? Just
This little shithole.
one here.
Oh, right here. Okay.
Has one bed broken and shambles.
We'll take what we can get, though.
Ren kind of closes the door after seeing Petra leave and kind of breathes a sigh of relief. I didn't think we'd make it out alive.
Honestly, neither did I.
And why didn't the others follow us? They were just behind us.
I
You
know.
should have followed.
I don't know where they went to, but how long do you think it'll be before we can get a crew together to see if they're okay?
I don't know. This Petra woman, the lieutenant that we saved, she seems well enough level-headed, but I don't know who the person in charge of this garrison fort is, but maybe we can convince them.
Maybe.
Are you hurt? As he says that, he's wincing in pain, holding his side.
I'm okay for the most part, Warren. But here. And Herringon will walk up and he'll cast Cure Wounds on you.
Oi! There you heard. We were on the knock. Oi!
Yes.
Petra sends her regards. So he leaves a bag outside.
So he kind of opens it. A door.
That's a window.
Yeah, there it is.
As you take the bag, you can see supplies, bandages, foods, rations, drinking water, blankets, necessities. As it
So he
looks
kind of like grabs the bag.
It'll last you about 3 days.
He opens the water, the water skin, and drinks it gurgly. As he looks over at Aragon. Sorry.
No. Okay. In all honesty, I'm not that worse for wear. I was pretending to be one of them, so I wasn't in nearly as much danger as you guys were.
It's just the smell. The air in that place. Haven't had water for days. It was a bit hard. I'm just going to press. No, he's gonna slide down against the wall and he's gonna tell the Haragon, I'm just going to close my eyes for a bit.
So you see inside the standard daily rations per soldier. You see some dried hardtack and dry meats, dense biscuits, salted venison packed for likely 3 servings for the 3 days that you arrived, dry fruits and nuts, small portions of apples and berries, water skin, as you can see they offered it to you. So they have some purified barrels in their camp. I have some medicinal bitter brew, as it's looks like a tea of some sort. You can potentially help brew it, as it can heal with minor infections. As if you wish to use it, you're welcome to, or you can keep it on hand. It only lasts 30 days until it expires. As well as it looks like they offer you a small taste of home as kind of a weak spirit, basically, of alcohol. As it's enough for a shot.
If you don't sleep, Paragon, you can kind of see Wern stirring a bit. As almost seems like having a nightmare.
Bed? You can just sleep there. Okay.
No, he's just gonna sleep against this. It's fucking traumatized.
Harangon will sort of also rest, sort of exhausted from the stress, I think, of the day, more so than the actual, like, physical exhaustion.
Eventually, after some time, Arthur, you begin to make your way here. Your invisibility eventually vanishes. You find what looks like a heavily fortified gatehouse. You can see battlements of the signs of the hooded lantern residing here.
Do I know of the hooded lantern?
Are you from Drakkenheim originally?
I don't believe so. No.
Are you from Westmar?
No.
Where do you hail from on this continent map that I'll pop on?
From the Hells is kind of my... Yeah, I'm gonna have the assumption I probably would not know of them.
Alright, so you're not from this continent at all?
Sorry, I was muted. No, I wasn't.
So you have no knowledge of anybody here then? And
Okay,
you see
that
them
makes
as...
fair sense. I was just seeing if maybe I caught anything going through the bars more so being here.
You don't have any lore about them,
few.
so you're just more taken as lost and hungry and rather, I don't know, views where you need to go.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I guess I would see them. Probably make my way up towards. Think I saw a person on the other map.
I gotta get out of the map now. I lost it. Ah, there it is. Halt you! What brings you here?
Oh.
You're contaminated?
No, not at all. Are you?
As I look at you. If we were contaminated, I would kill myself.
Same thoughts exactly there.
What's your business here, stranger? You're rather far from Emberwood Village.
Yes, quite actually. Your observation skills are phenomenal. I, unfortunately, was over at that tavern, the Rats one, you could say, and a few of my
You're
compatriots.
contaminated! As they draw their arrows at you. No one goes there. As long as they want to live.
Arthur would have his hands up. No, I promise you, I saw them get in trouble and I hightailed it out. By any chance have you seen, how should I put this? A rabbit-looking fellow, a herringon, they called him, and how should I put this as well? Ugly human.
Yeah, we're showing them. We came in with our lieutenant. Just an hour ago.
Well, those happen to be the people I was separated from, and it sounds like it could be my lucky day.
We're not gonna just let you in. You're a stranger. We're gonna have to have our captain commander to look at you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And obviously
You
pillage whatever you have on you. That might be life-threatening.
Yes. Make sure you check me thoroughly, please. As he, winks.
Disgusting. Disgusting!
Is it alright if I wait here?
Just stay there. So one of them goes in. Takes a bit of time to get the commander of this establishment.
Is, the other one out here while the other one left?
There was more of them. There's actually 30. I didn't want to drag 30 tokens though.
Oh, no worries. I think I'd probably, make small talk with one of them while they're grabbing the other one, seeing if anyone else came with them, or it was just those two. He would describe Shell, Stripes, and Jorzen.
No, none of those around here.
I didn't think so. I mean, I did see... No. Well, it never hurts to ask, but... He just shrugs. Internally, though, he would be very sad he never got to touch the beans.
So you see this individual arrive.
Finally someone that isn't a complete disgrace to the humankind in the sense of looks.
Who are you and what's your purpose here? Are you with another faction by chance?
No, a free agent, so to speak. Arthur's the name. Bard is my game.
A bard doing in Drakkenheim? That sounds suicide.
It does, doesn't it? But, I find a certain proclivity of the dark times, and the darkness that surrounds Drakkenheim is beautiful in a sense. I digress, but I heard that a couple of my allies may be here, and I was hoping to possibly rejoin them.
Perhaps. Search him through before he enters in. Yes, Commander Lang. As his name is Lang as well.
Lang, like
Yeah.
Lang.
Oh, Nepo
Petra
baby.
Lang and
Nepo baby.
Lang. As they search you through, beginning to pillage. Looks like you have a lot of coin on you.
A bit, just for emergencies.
So they begin to look through the belongings. As do you have anything on you that you're trying to hide away? Delirium pieces. You'll have to roll a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. Oh, okay, let's pray.
18. All right. You don't catch it. You put it in the grossest spots. We'll put it in your undies.
In his prison wallet.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
As they would
point
have
first.
confiscate those. They don't steal from people. They don't take your money. They're not that kind of people. But if they saw Delirium, they would take it.
Nothing suspicious, boys?
They take your weapons for the time being. You'll get them back when you leave.
Okay, that's just a dagger. They don't take my lyre, do they?
No, they don't give a shit about it. They don't
Okay.
understand what a bard does.
Perfect. They can
They
have
think
the
you just
dagger.
sing songs and fucking make merry.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That wasn't as interesting as I was hoping, but thank you.
No, just don't stop troubling here. When you see fit, your head on a pike likely out there.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time.
As he escorts you towards it. Your friends is in that shack over there.
Oh, lovely accommodations. Thank you.
So you see them.
Actually, no, I will go to this window first,
see
and I
Warren
will stare in. Is Harengon awake?
I don't know. Are you awake, Hargo?
Harengon's sleeping pretty lightly, so if you make
Roll
like
me a
enough
sleight
noise,
check,
he'd notice.
sleight of hand, stealth check, art to perception check, Harrigan. Nope.
Oh yeah, Harengon's pretty sleepy.
Yeah, he's like peeking in through the window. And then he'll just like smile. Okay.
I gotta brush my. I gotta smell my breath.
Is the door locked?
No, it's
or...
not. Locked.
No.
Okay. I will gently open it
No.
quietly.
You're like a squeaky noise.
I will sneak in. I will shut the door. There you go. And then I will take out my lyre, and I will play my number one screamo song.
Oh my god.
To-
As you
to
wear
wake
in a
them up.
Harrigan, you wake up with a heart attack.
What in the hell is that?
Oh, hello. So glad to see my friends here.
What the?
How did you?
Are the others okay?
Well, about that. I suppose I should just tell you of what happened, no?
I thought that would be appreciated, yeah.
He'll, like, sit at the edge of this bed. Well, first and foremost, I had heard a kerfuffle from wherever we were at, and I assumed the rats went after it. I turned myself invisible to try and make my way out, and as I navigated that crazy maze, I heard more commotion, and unfortunately, as I got towards the main area we were kidnapped in when we first were brought, Stripes, the cat, and the big one that was always hunched over, Shell, I think. They weren't in the best of positions. His body looked to be gelatinous almost, and Stripe was in no better. He didn't look to be breathing from what I saw. I found it pertinent to take a quick look for Jorzen, and as I went by, I saw their altar, and alas, no Jorzen. I made it back to the pit and thought instead of staying there, it'd be best to get out. And made my way out. Luckily avoided a bunch of undead, found the wall, met these fine people, you could say. Lang was his name, and now I'm here.
Okay.
I had hoped possibly the others had gotten out with you, but I don't think they were obviously as fortunate seeing the two's condition. Jorzen's probably faring no better.
So it's probably safe to assume that they're gonna die there, right?
Warren closes his eyes and puts his head against the wall and slightly bangs it and bites his lip until he draws a little bit of blood and doesn't say anything from there. Keeps his eyes closed.
Well, they could also be suffering a fate worse than death, not to be the bearer of bad news, but it is true. Remember, where creatures do possess curses and could earn them. I wasn't sticking around long enough to find out if they had that fate befall them either. But, alas, it's us. Silver linings, no. That's because you can kind of see, too, Arthur, like, kind of isn't perturbed at all by death, obviously. Like,
You're very unfazed.
he's just kind of saying it like, it's a Tuesday, it's 53 degrees outside,
Yeah.
sky's blue.
Do we owe it to them to try and clear out the cave with a larger group, or do we leave it be?
Well, let's see. Currently, our firepower is a bard that's beautiful, a one-eyed herring god now, and a, how should I put this lightly, man that's lost.
As he kind of cuts you off, he looks over at Aragon and opens his eyes. You should leave this place. You should leave me.
That's been the talk. I like Erwin to roll me a perception check.
Oh god, I gotta run out of my bed.
Oh, I was like, who?
Who? Who?
Keep?
Right.
Sexy boy?
We just hear, and roll initiative. Named monster.
Maybe.
14.
14.
You hear a conversation being had in your own hovel of a house that's been ramshackled and left to demise as you hear new people coming in as you're next to a campfire, a fireplace, kindling the wood, keeping warm. As you hear a conversation, as you hear commotion, as you haven't heard commotion in several days of being here. As it's newfound conversation. It's muffled but loud enough that you can hear people having a long conversation as you're likely a few walls away from the location of this conversation being had. It is up to you if you wish to undermine the conversation or merely stay in your own hovel for the time being.
Oh, he is not paying attention. He is just gonna... He's falling back asleep.
Chicken. Tuna. Gwen. Shell. Lord knows. Maybe even Stripes and Jorzen are dead now. So he kind of looks over at Aragon. You'll have to leave me. Please. First it was my mother. No, the people I've come to know are all gone. If you stay with me, you'll end up dying too. I don't think I can take this anymore. So he
You're
gets
saying this
up.
all like pretty out loud, right?
Yeah, he kind of muffles it, and then he gets up. He walks out. Goes to look for a guard to find Petra.
Guard looks at you. What are you doing out? You were told to stay there.
I believe the lieutenant, I believe she said once I cover my wounds,
You're not to leave this premises for the next few days.
Is she gone?
He doesn't answer.
Am I a prisoner?
You're not a prisoner, but you're recommended here to stay here for the few days until likewise. I suggest you enjoy yourself than being out there, being torn to shreds.
Well,
You're welcome to roam around the area, but anything beyond that, behind the gates, on trespassing. Until any commander allows you to see fit. Since you're not a part of the Hooded Lanterns, you'll be treated as a citizen.
thank you for your engagement. Because he's almost talking through you. Doesn't really. He understands what you're saying. He nods respectively, but kind of just is a bit lifeless.
So you can see empty houses left from people that resided here long ago. As a lot of these buildings look like they would be refugees for people that survived the countless war or cataclysm inside. You can see left remains of food or clothing or equipment.
He's just going to be wandering the place until for a bit, so you guys can pass on.
Basically, you're a refugee for the time being. Arthur and Harrigan, anything you want to do?
I think Harangon's kind of just like taking everything all in between what Arthur said and like and Warren's apparent breakdown. I think he's just kind of sitting there, like a little in shock almost, just sort of unsure what to do.
I think like as you sit there, Arthur, after like saying all that and like being leaned in close, he would then just kind of like smirk at you and then ask, "And what of yourself? How are you feeling?" And he'll kind of like boop your nose with his finger.
I'm managing, I guess. It's a lot to take in.
Well, now's the time to let it out. Everyone seems to be, no? You can't tell me that affliction that has befallen your precious face hasn't caused some form of mental trauma, yet alone now finding out about your friends. Go on, open up. You say you don't remember yourself, maybe feeling some of these things would truly get you to remember a few things.
It's like every time I see something or feel something terrible happen to myself, and every time I get close to some sort of mystery in Drakkenheim, I get these these shivers, these prickles down the back of my neck. And I see visions of people who are me, but not me.
Interesting.
And for a moment, I come to my senses and I feel like I guess the best way to describe it is I feel like I'm in a perpetual state of grief. And I push on, but each time I see a life, a vision, it ends with a bright flash and the sounds of terrible screams.
Fascinating. And
So,
this is often, you say?
not necessarily. It's more like every time we enter Drakkenheim or get close to the mists, or every time something painful happens to me. And it's odd because in a weird way, even though people I care about and I'm meeting and I know are dying, it feels less bad than when I'm in those visions. Maybe there's a reason. I can't remember.
You'd see Arthur kind of like smirk a little. Yes, very interesting indeed. Your tale amuses me quite a lot. Maybe I could be one to assist in figuring these things out. These flashes, these feelings that you get. Maybe as we press on, we could figure out more. Perhaps why it feels worse in them than this. You just see Arthur very interested. He's never heard something like this before.
And that's not all either. As
Oh.
Harangon will produce the infernal puzzle cube.
Ooh.
When I first came to, I guess, this consciousness, this current life where I remember things, I awoke in a room with only this, the clothes on my body, and a note.
And you're holding out the puzzle cube.
Yes.
I think he would like take a look at it. Is there anything I would be able to like decipher from it?
I have like a blurb in my inventory about it. Hold up.
I know I'm kind of like inept at Arcana. I don't know if like what the prerequisite would be or
For what?
his little puzzle box.
Oh, yeah, it does. It requires a DC 30 Arcana. Yeah.
Natural.
Oh.
That was be like natural. Fuck.
It's actually from a campaign. It's from which, if you ever play in the far future, Baldur's Gate, the campaign. I forgot the one.
Oh, the
Avernus one,
Avernus
yeah.
one. Yeah.
I've only had
Spencer
one
Avernus.
person open it, and it is very scary if you. Yeah. So I'm not making you do the damage because obviously it'd kill you.
Right. No, I'm not trying to open it for sure. I'm just curious as like, is this thing like from the hells, like being from like the hells being tiefling and like who like following? I was curious if maybe I've ever heard of this object or.
So it's up to Haragon. The puzzle box could be from the hells originally. It originates from the hells as an item, but you could obviously flavor it for whatever you want.
Yeah, I would say that like you would understand the basic concept, like the idea that it conceals something within it,
Mm-hmm.
but like the writing on it
Mm-hmm.
is infernal in nature, but it's of a language that you wouldn't like recognize. Like it seems infernal
It's like
to like an
ancient.
untrained,
infernal.
exactly. To
Yeah.
like an untrained eye, you'd just be like, oh, it's infernal. But to someone who actually speaks it, they're like, no, this is not like typical.
Beautiful. So Arthur would see this then, and just that, because he knows infernal, he would glance at it thinking exactly it's that, but then upon closer look, he like leans in and he's like, I can't understand any of this, but you are in possession of something quite interesting. And I think, in a sense, you would now realize Arthur's like interest in you has become like extreme fascination.
Yeah, it was accompanied with a small note, that stated not much, just at all costs, I believe this is your destiny. And there was a small insignia stamped on the bottom of the letter.
My. You could hear the excitement in his voice. This will be. I can't even. And he just like leans his head back and lets out like a boisterous laugh. Ah, sorry, I had to get that out of my system. I have not been thoroughly fascinated in this long. And then he'll have noticed finally Warren came back in. Ah, boy, you're back.
He doesn't respond to you.
Any luck finding Petra?
He doesn't respond to you.
Oh. Well, anyways. Yeah. The insignia at the bottom of the letter was like a flaming ball.
Yeah, and you're presenting that too, right?
Yeah, he would show you the note. At this point, it's like a crumpled up small piece of parchment.
I am definitely curious now. Who could have given this to you?
If it's any help, when me and Jorzen and Stripes and our old friend Gwen went out to a farm that was full of followers of the falling fire, one of their prophets, I guess, I don't know, one of their star charters, he seemed to, in a way, understand me. Kept making statements that heavily applied to my current situation. So I have reason to believe that the note and the box have something to do with the followers of the falling fire. Though I'm not entirely sure, and I don't really want to just give it to them in case whoever left this with me was trying to keep it away from them, but...
Yes. And this falling fire you mentioned sounds... This is the cult, correct? The name of them?
Yes. The fanatics.
And are they all fanatical, or do any have reason?
Well, that's just it. The ones at the farm, they seemed admittedly out of touch with reality, but they didn't seem violent. They just seemed obsessive in their beliefs, but not to the point where they would, you know, like kill someone for disagreeing with them. They just seemed fixated. But of
And
course, we've come across some that are completely fanatical.
you're referring to that first group we ran into.
Mm-hmm.
So they were of the same cult, allegedly.
Yeah.
Interesting. Perhaps there's a power struggle going within, and there are two sides within the same faction.
Could be the case. I imagine it's also the case that, like many, religions, there's the opportunity for some people to interpret things differently in a way that might not always be helpful to
Yes.
the reputation of the worship.
And with the somewhat reasonable group, did you leave at least a good impression, or at least an opening in the door?
They did. They asked for us to go to a chapel and retrieve a holy relic for them. They said that if we could do this, that it would elevate our standing or something with them. I thought that's what we would try to do when we get to Drakkenheim, but Josen wanted us to investigate this cave, so that was the route we took.
Interesting. Your group has come across many, many interesting things that have piqued my interest. How curious that fate has bestowed this upon you all. From what you've told me, would you mind if I accompanied you along that journey as well? You've more than piqued my interest in a few matters now.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, I think the help could be useful, at the very least. But, I mean, as you've
Beautiful.
now seen, our group doesn't necessarily have the best reputation for keeping its members safe or alive. So,
He'll smirk at you once again, and he will say this. Well, not to be rude or crass, but self-preservation seems to be the nature of the remaining members here, so I'm honestly not worried about my own life. Seeing as how we all looked out for our own. Alas, I'm sure more people will join, and if they make such choices, so be it. Everyone's fate will come at whatever time comes. I look forward to it.
yes. Anyways, I suppose we should get some sleep and then figure out what the game plan is in terms of the cave, or if we just move on and pretend it. And Herringon sort of chokes. Pretend it didn't happen.
Agreed, sleep will probably be best for both of you. At least he, and he'll nod to the corner of Waren, isn't rambling as much anymore, seeming as lost. But we can deal with that at a later time, no?
Yeah. True.
Arthur will smile. Sleep well.
Was I able to hear the muffled noises through this side of the wall?
You can hear the whole conversation. They're not being too quiet. As well, the fact in the matter is, you're all in ramshackle houses. They probably don't have much of padding, let alone as a well maintained. You don't hear a full conversation, but you hear muffled noises, and you hear them obviously trying to keep it secrecy and quiet and to themselves and such, in a way that it might intrigue you as a character, for what your characters came from. Likely, it maybe had friends or lost friends, or came here as a refugee, unknown to the events of your character. As you can roll a stealth check if you want to keep it quiet if you want to walk across, or if you want them to let them know that you're walking towards the door. It's up
Oh,
to
he's
you.
walking towards
Right,
the
you
door.
hear the footsteps.
He's like, oh no, I'm walking.
Aragon, your ears pop up quickly as your keen hearing.
Someone's coming.
Warren takes out his great axe and stands.
He knocks on the door.
Arthur would be hiding behind the bed.
Harangon will open the door.
Hello? Who goes there? Oh, hi.
You could see a man with very long white hair. It's not unkept, but you could tell that it's just long strands over his head, but you can see a small goatee. He is a high elf, so you could easily detail the ears that they're just pointy. But he sports white eyes, but having no pupils. It's almost like if they're rolled back, you kind of see he's like almost sleepwalking in the fact. Bags under his eyes, and a black robe with shoulder plates that only are just for show, as he is holding onto a spell book. And he's just looking at you, kind of, but like in the 1,000-yard stare-ish, but like not there in place. He's just there, just looking.
I'd say I'll be right back.
Hello?
He just he is gonna cast a spell called Elementalism, but it's gonna be embers. Yes. So within the smoke and fire, you'd see that a word comes across just above his like head, as he heard the words alive and sleep from what you previously said.
Okay. Well. Right.
Harangon will kind of lean over to Warren.
I don't really know what to make of the words alive and sleep.
Warren kind of like leans towards Aragon to listen to what he said, and then looks back up.
He's like swaying back and forth. You could tell he's like sleepwalking.
Harangon is going to kind of point at you, and he'll cast message.
Perhaps responding this way would work better. I just can't really understand, when you're only giving us limited words.
Is it inside of his head, or?
Yeah, it would be. Oh, here. Oh my gosh, it's not letting me.
Oh,
paste the
yeah.
details.
I
That's
think I
cool.
can just click on the details. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it only hears. He. Ah, man. I just need like one more. He does the same thing, but this time it's just in water. It's like a cooling mist, but you can also see a sand rippling off of his clothes, and on the ground he still shows the alive and sleep message. As he'll just walk back, since nothing's really going on. He'll go back to sleep.
Who was that?
I think our neighbor, it looks like, but he was talking about Well, he wasn't talking, for starters, he was spelling. And he spelt alive and sleep. I think he was sleepwalking, but I tried casting message and I got no response, so...
That doesn't seem suspicious.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the fuck that was about. And Harangon will kind of go back to the corner to kind of slump in again.
Hey, Arthur will just same, like, shrug. Scream if someone tries to murder us. Good night.
Is that what I needed?
Alright. As you guys are done here, alright.
Yeah.
We'll continue onwards with the rat nest infestation.
It's rat time.
Rats.
It's breeding time.
As after a while, after an
That's
hour,
right.
Stripes filling your bellies and gullets with remains of whatever creatures, you begin to find yourself well rested and feeling slumberish as you begin to instinctively, as a rat would, nestle itself into its own nest and begin to sleep and relax itself. Jolzen, after an hour, you wake up rather confused and dazed where you are as you find yourself back restrained onto the pool where you once were. All that work and effort long wasted. The creatures saw fit to not let you waste. You notice as you wake up around the bend, your brother's not there anymore. You don't know if you killed him in your sleep or likely he was dragged off away. As you notice tracks on the ground, your eyes still going in and out as thirst still requires your parched lips as you see these rather large foot trackings moving off elsewhere. Unaware of who that is or what it is, they look like giant rats that have roamed its way out of here, much bigger than the ones that came in here originally.
Yeah. Can I try to investigate to try to get a little bit more information?
With just merely your eyes, you can't really investigate from moving, but you can roll a survival check instead. This time you weren't unable to unbound yourself. You're stuck now like this.
Okay,
They
so
have made sure that you can't leave this bounding.
okay.
Since you broke out of it last time. Like, yeah, let's triple wrap it around his neck and his ankles and wrist and his stomach, and you know, he's like just stuck there. You can tell whatever that is a bestial creature you've never encountered down here. Whatever that was, it was recently born from here. As in the inkling of your mind, you begin to recollect. Oh shit! It could be my brother. What did they do to him?
And you said there's no way for me to get up this time?
No. With the weakened state you are in, you can tell you're kind of going in and out at this point. You are kind of still being tested for the bite. The bite seems to not have conflicted you yet in a way that it's transformed you. As yours likely will take time. It's like a superpower that hasn't really came fully out yet. It might take you days, hours, weeks. It's hard to tell. After a while, Josen, you begin to hear something moving to you. Your keen ear senses begin to kindle towards something. Eventually, Stripes, you can heal your token to full as you're fully rested and replenished. As a were creature, you gain new heightened skills. Your body seems to heal a little bit faster than normal. As being fed and eaten, you begin to move yourself towards... Not a long rest, just a short rest, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just do that. Either way. Doesn't matter. As Jorzen, you do notice the creature coming to your eyes. As you don't recognize it for the moment, you can roll an insight check. As Stripes begins to mix a chord in this feral creature form, sniffing around for scraps and whatnot, as it begins to rather sniff close to you, realizing quickly you don't recognize this as your brother. You see this as an abomination, a monster. As the creature begins to move towards you, Chosen, as it begins to sniff you, like trying to correlate what you are, either food, friend, or something much more. As Stripes, you can play this out as you see fit. As you are now an animalistic creature, you're no longer human for the time being, so you can play it as a cat, maybe. I don't know, whatever you want, as your kitten or whatever.
Well, if I'm
you're
a
more
rat,
of an animal.
technically,
Correct.
I'd be more of a rat. So,
But you're newly
rats eat
born
each
rats,
other.
so you're
Yeah.
newly born.
Rats do eat each other, so keep sniffing. Approaching him, sniff. What do I have for instincts right now? Am I still hungry, or
No, you're not hungry anymore, but you're curious. You're curious. You are seeing the world in a different light. This is like a new world to you. You're reborn in this state. This is a different entity that's inside of you. This is not you. This is a completely new character.
he's still chained up?
He's chained up big time now. He's not allowed to leave.
Curious. 15, 18 to hit.
You're trying to bite the chains?
No, I'm gonna bite him.
Oh, you're biting him.
Curious.
As you get bitten for a critical, it's a natural 20. Because he's restrained.
Oh, yeah.
He's restrained.
Oof.
As you can do the crit damage on him. He's already infected, so he can't really be reinfected. The DC for infection is still 11, sadly. It's not 13. It doesn't roll with
Okay.
it's a base roll of 11, no matter what. Because it's supposed to be low, because to get infected would be super bad in the campaign.
And that's why I was asking, like, because it says proficiency bonus as well as dexterity bonus and everything else.
It's gonna always be 11, no matter what. It's my apologies.
Okay.
The bite will do more damage, though. The bite will do more damage. That's why.
It's only 1d4 plus.
But it's based
2.
on your strength or your dex, whatever you choose.
Yeah, and that's a plus 2. So yeah, only 1d4 plus 2.
Alright, it's just a bite. As you bite him really hard, dealing 6 points of damage to you, George, and you feel the bite. I don't know where he's biting you, but wherever he's biting you,
probably on the leg.
It's like he's ripping your flesh a little bit. Do you do anything, Jorzen? Do you scream? Do you like pain and agony? What?
Yes, I'll scream and see if there's a way to fight. I see if there's a way to try to break out again.
You can do a hellish rebuke. That is what you can do. You're a tiefling.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my hellish rebuke.
All right. As he hellish rebukes you, the fire begins to engulf you. Stripes, roll me dexterity save.
That would be just normal. So that'd be.
What's your
11.
DC, Jorzen?
Oh,
or
14.
If it's an attack save, it is a 8.
8 plus what? No, it's not just 8.
Plus your spellcasting modifier.
I guess that'd be 3, so that'd be a 11.
Plus your proficiency as well. What's your proficiency? Plus 2 or plus 3?
Yeah, I think it's plus 2.
So it's 13. DC's the 13. All right, so you take half as much damage. So, ooh, that's a lot. So you take 7 points of fire damage as you engulf it. As the fire engulfs, it begins to rip the chains off of you. As the sinews, George, and you're free out of your will. As you kind of land into the mud and the poop and everywhere around you, as it frees you from your bindings.
I run away from the react.
All right. As George, and your rather deteriorated self begins to free itself once again. as the fire, as you see whatever bit you runs away and scurries away.
Oh. And well, no. I guess I have to find the room where they keep everything.
Yep, you're a naked boy. You're a Terminator right now.
Oh yeah. I guess I'll.
You can
Yes,
still see the
I'll.
bitty little eyes of the creature that bit you, still watching you.
Does it look different from the other rats I saw?
It looks
I'd
different.
I'd probably have like feline slits as my eyes,
Could
rather
I
than
try to
the rat regular pupils.
roll to see if that might be what could have turned into my brother?
You tried that, you failed it, so you have no idea. It bit you. At this point, you see it as a feral creature. It's up to you if you wanna what you wanna do. It looks like it looks at you curious, like a rat would be or an animal. As it tasted you. You could try to tame it if you want. It's not an animal though, but you could try to roleplay it where maybe you want to make friends with it, maybe you want to avoid it, maybe you want to scare it away. At this point, there's no collection with the insight check you rolled before to your brother. Whatever this thing is a monster. It could have been one of the people that have been transformed here long ago, to your knowledge.
I guess I'm going to look at it, and I guess I'll try to speak to it by asking it, like, what is it?
Alright. You hear, what are you, as Stripes. You're unable to talk, as you can just make chattering noises and squeakings.
I back off a little further.
What are you? As you see it scurry away.
I guess as it scurries away, I kind of make like a mental note, and I think I'm gonna go try to find the Rat King. Maybe about getting some more answers about what happened to everybody, since I wouldn't know, since I was chained up.
As you begin to move around, as the creatures look at you closely, as they look at you. What is he doing out? You're not allowed to leave. Get back where you belong. What do you do, Jorson?
I'll tell them first I need to know what happened to everybody.
They're dead. All of them. Eaten. You're the only one left. You can roll an insight if you like.
Yeah. I'll say. I'll look at him and be like, even the small cat.
He was devoured by the king himself. Enjoyed. I think he enjoyed breeding it while it was dead. If you're going to the king, you'll certainly be next. I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, that is just something I'm gonna have to risk.
We won't
continue,
allow you. Go ahead.
Then, if they say they won't allow me, I say, well, then you're gonna have to kill me first.
We won't kill you. We will slowly make sure that you will be confined here for the rest of your days. Now be calm and head back towards the altar room. And don't be rash, depending if you want to end up like your friends.
The only thing I have left now is to avenge my brother. So you'll either fight me or I'm going to challenge the king.
then you shall challenge the nest. Roll initiative. Stripes, if
Well-
you do notice your brother getting attacked, you can roll you can roll a will check, basically wisdom checks, to see if you positive you'll help him, negative you won't help him. So we'll get into a combat initiative. This is a peaking point for you, Jorzen. Either this could kill your character, or this might redeem your character in a new light.
I'm going. Damn. I was hoping to go for a 1v1 versus the king and
Oh, the king would kill
hope for
you.
some good
He's
rolls.
strong.
I've been whispering the whole time.
I would
That
never.
14.
I would never challenge the king. I would be like, yeah, it's suicide.
Listen, we're going for a good story, good ending.
Well, I thought you were gonna like just try to escape.
I'll survive now.
If I was to know, I feel like if my character was to know that his brother was just turned, he would have played this a lot differently.
The problem is
But
you roll
with-
so badly.
Yeah,
All right. Is the rattling?
but
Go ahead.
at this point, I would feel like my character is in a despair moment, not really caring about what happens to him, since he was told his brother was devoured. It's just more. He's more of like a, oh, this is an all or nothing attack now.
All right, Stripes. What do you want to do in your animal
I'm just
form?
gonna sit here because I'm not sure what the heck's going on.
There is. All right. Like rattling will look towards you.
So what does
Go
the
ahead.
14 give me?
What?
What does the 14 give me? Am I against him or with him?
You don't know because he hasn't been attacked yet.
Oh, okay.
I would say only when he gets attacked, then you get to do it.
Okay.
All right. The rattling seems to try to grab you. Spend one of his actions to grab you. It's contested. You can do acrobatics or athletics. 19.
What are these rolls?
You are grappled as it begins to drag you away. Come, come, you will be sufficed. So, alright, Jorzen.
Now, I would like to try to. Oh, I will now do a chill touch attack since it's already grabbing me.
Okay. That's a hit. Ah!
And now I will. Should I try to back up from it?
You can't, you're grappled.
And then I will use a bonus attack to attack him, to try to hit him to see if he'll let me go in the snout.
15 as a hit. Ah! Anything else?
That will be it.
Alright, as the rattling sees you're punching and killing it, it'll attack you, as it'll bite you. Natural 20.
Oh shit.
That's 10 points of piercing in the back of your neck. Stripes, now you can make your wisdom save. Or will check. It's up to you. Save or check. I don't care. You do notice the instincts as your mental block state wants to help.
Ooh, natty 20. Nice.
Alright. As you see, whatever this thing to you feels like friend.
I will attack. Oh, that one over there. I can't really get at him. So, yeah. Does he look hostile?
Yeah, he just
To
bit.
Jordan?
He bit
Okay.
whatever this thing was. That bit you bit into it as you see it as your. It's because you bit it, so if you feel like it's your property now.
Yeah, it's my meal.
What are you doing? Now! As you bite it.
I cannot. Oh, there we go.
For 6 damage as you begin to chomp and eat, as you rip its neck out as you see it die.
Which tastes better, Jorson or them?
They taste awful.
Kind of free action spit
As the thing
out the viscera.
What are you doing? You're on my side! As this thing begins to look towards yours, and I will take you down! As he starts to knife you. 21?
That hits.
For 3 damage.
Ooh, damn.
Jordan
Puts me down.
falls and
I had 2
crushes.
left.
It pulls you behind it as it kind of lets you go. As it drives its sword into Stripes. Die! Oops. Natural 20. As it tries to stab you, it does no damage. Ching! What?
Oh.
Death save, please. Whisper, please. Alright. Stripes. You have
I'm gonna
about-
chitter to it, saying that's my meal.
It's us! Us! Bumble table. 1d20. That's an
Oh,
auto
shit.
hit. Roll damage.
Oh, okay.
You! We made you! What are you doing?
That's my meal.
As it keeps trying to attack you, not realizing it can't harm you.
I'm surprised my attacks can go through because they're were rats too, aren't they?
They are not were rats. They are born. They're rats that are born from the concept of Drakkenheim. They are not were creatures. So they're not like you. You're born from the DNA of the Delirium that they placed into your body. You're basically mutated in this form. So you're like much more stronger than they are. They can't seem to fight you because they don't have the means of the new capabilities you have.
Nice.
George and Death Safe Whisper, please.
Oh, that was 22 to hit and 5 damage.
Oh, it was not your turn, I'm assuming.
Oh, shit.
But now it is your turn. As you turn for 5, okay. That's all you want to do?
At the moment, I think that's all I can do because I'm still feral.
Alright.
And I don't have any spells.
As it realizes it can't seem to hurt you, as it begins to panic, it kind of turns around. Then I shall kill your brother! As you can make an attack of op, as he tries to hurl his blade into his chest. $11's a miss.
No.
As he begins
Sorry,
to
Jorson.
strike 2 blades into him. 15 and 20.
Oof. They both hit.
Take 2 death saves as he's being jabbed to death. Jorzen, death save. Jorzen, what's your last words?
It shall be. If only I could save Stripes.
Alright. Stripes, you notice your meal just get killed.
I'm going to charge in and hit him.
$12's a hit. As you start killing him and just killing the creature. Ripping him to shreds. As we'll end our session here. Seeing what he'll do next.
Well, at least you killed the king. Long live the new king.
What a like light, fun, and happy note to end on, you know.
Oh no, yeah, this is a
Yeah.
perfect day to end it.
He
You
watches
know.
his brother die in front of him. And he doesn't know it's his brother because he doesn't have the instinct to, but
Damn. I tried.
Nom nom nom.